Lovelies. Listen. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a crowd watching closely, waiting for one tiny move, holding their breath in silence. It feels like a movie scene where everything slows down, and just when you think nothing will happen, a spark appears, and the whole place erupts. That's the kind of pull power Wats has without even trying. Every single move she makes online draws attention like a magnet, and the funny part is that it sometimes feels like she lets the spotlight run after her. People sit on edge trying to predict what she will do next, but her unpredictability keeps them restless. This is what makes her updates so addictive to fans. The smallest action turns into a long thread of conversations, debates, and theories. You can almost hear the suspense grow each time she drops something, whether it's a casual line or a picture. People rush in to analyze, but the truth is, nobody ever gets it right because Paul stays unpredictable. And that mystery is exactly why her presence online feels larger than life. Isn't it amazing how one person can stir so much with just silence or one tiny post? Have you noticed how sometimes celebrities don't even need to say a word before G starts flying everywhere? It's unbelievable. Just imagine Pearl staying completely silent online, not posting, not commenting, not even liking someone's picture. Suddenly, that silence becomes louder than a full-blown speech. Fans jump in with theories, attaching meanings to the quiet moment as if it's a clue in a puzzle. They build full stories from absolutely nothing, and before long, everyone is debating the same topic. What makes it even more shocking is that the silence spreads faster than the truth. People who weren't even paying attention suddenly find themselves dragged into the conversation because of the tension created by something that didn't even happen. Isn't it wild how people can spin entire dramas out of thin air? That's the kind of suspense that makes celebrity life so intense. Fans don't wait for confirmation, they just start filling the gaps, and once the gist grows, it takes a life of its own. Pearl's silence works exactly like that. It keeps people restless because they can never really tell if it means something or absolutely nothing at all. And that is why her quietness shakes the internet every time. Pearl's updates feel like mini-movies, and that's not even an exaggeration. She has this way of sharing details that seem personal, yet she never fully reveals the complete story. That's where the suspense comes in. Fans grab those pieces she drops and turn them into long debates online, trying to put the puzzle together. Every post looks like a new twist in an ongoing series, and people wait eagerly to see what comes next. Isn't it fascinating how one update can spark so many interpretations? Some think she's hinting at her feelings, while others believe she's dropping clues about her next big move. The mystery pulls everyone in, making it impossible to ignore her. The suspense is like watching a show that never ends. Each time you think you figured it out, Paul surprises you by holding back or changing direction completely. It's that unpredictability that keeps the gist alive. Her posts never feel random, they feel like well-timed scenes meant to start conversations. Fans don't just scroll by, they stop, analyze, and argue endlessly. And before you know it, one short caption becomes a topic that trends everywhere. That's the true power of our carefully measured updates. Picture this: actors and filmmakers work day and night, pouring everything into a premiere or an award night, and when the big day arrives, do you know what takes over? It's not always the project itself but the gist about who wore what or who walked in with whom. Isn't that surprising? The craft, the effort, and the art often get buried under endless conversations about fashion choices and red carpet moments. Pearl, like many other stars, finds herself caught in this same whirlwind. Instead of focusing on the movie or the performance, fans and bloggers dive into what dress she wore, how she styled her hair, or which person stood next to her. The real work gets overshadowed, and that becomes the talk of the day. It's almost like the artistry becomes secondary to the drama of appearance. But here's the twist: even though it seems distracting, this attention can also work as promotion. The buzz about the outfit or the entrance keeps her name trending, which might later direct fans back to her actual projects. Still, It shows how much pressure celebrities face, because no matter how hard they work, the spotlight might land on something as simple as an outfit. Do you know what's truly fascinating about Pearl? Her unpredictability. That's the secret that keeps her relevant in such a competitive space. Even the smallest thing she posts can turn into the hottest topic online. Imagine dropping a casual picture or writing one short caption, and suddenly, debates and arguments take over. That's exactly what happens whenever she shows up online. Fans stay restless because they never know what's coming next. Is it a casual update? Or is it a hidden clue about something bigger? The suspense keeps everyone glued to her page. Isn't it thrilling to watch someone who never plays by the script? Pearl treats her presence like a suspenseful story, and each new update feels like a cliffhanger. People refresh her page, waiting for that spark, and once it lands, the whole internet catches fire. The excitement doesn't even stop quickly, it lingers, keeps spreading, and makes people wonder about her next move. This unpredictability has turned into one of her biggest strengths because it ensures she's always in the gist. And the truth is, in the world of entertainment, staying talked about is half the battle. Pearl's unpredictability guarantees her relevance every single time. Have you ever thought about how far gossip can travel? It doesn't just stick to the celebrity, it spreads like a ripple in water. Pearl knows this reality all too well. Once a rumor starts, it doesn't only affect her but also her family, her friends, and even colleagues who didn't sign up for that attention. Imagine having to explain false stories to people you love, knowing they're untrue, yet they've been dragged right into the middle of it. Isn't that tough? The pressure is enormous because gossip doesn't only damage reputations, it strains relationships too. People close to celebrities sometimes get attacked online for things they never even did, and the worst part is, they often have no control over it. One careless rumor can open doors to endless questions and awkward moments for people who simply share a connection with the star. That ripple effect proves how powerful speculation is. It doesn't just touch the celebrity, it cuts deep into every circle around them. For Pearl, that's an added layer of stress because she has to protect not just herself but those she cares about. It's proof that gossip spreads wider and digs deeper than anyone ever expects. Pearl's presence online sometimes shifts attention away from her actual work to her personality. Isn't that such a twist? People start talking more about who she is rather than what she has created. At first, that might sound like a distraction, but here's the surprise: if she directs the energy smartly, all that drama could actually help her projects. Imagine turning endless conversations about her personal life into curiosity about her new film or her brand. That would make the noise work in her favor. Fans are already drawn in by the suspense she built, so a slight redirection could push them toward her craft. It's almost like using the fire of drama as fuel for her career. Instead of getting lost in all the personality gist, she has the chance to flip the spotlight back onto her achievements. That balance is tricky but powerful when done right. In a way, the very same unpredictability and drama that follow her could boost her legacy if tied carefully to her work. Isn't it incredible how what looks like distraction can actually become one of the strongest tools in a star's journey when used with wisdom? Silence has its own language, and in Pearl's world, that language speaks louder than anything else. Think about it: when she doesn't post, doesn't react, doesn't respond, it creates a wave of speculation. People rush to fill in the gaps because the absence feels like a message on its own. Isn't that fascinating? Instead of calming fans, the silence builds more questions, more theories, and even more heated debates. It's almost like her quiet moments are louder than her bold ones. That's the kind of power silence carries in the life of a celebrity. Fans can't handle not knowing, so they build entire narratives around that empty space. For Pearl, silence becomes an unspoken performance, one that makes her name trend even without her lifting a finger. It's proof that in the digital world, doing nothing can sometimes create more suspense than doing everything. And that's why her pauses, her decisions not to react, end up creating just as much excitement as her biggest post. Isn't it unbelievable how even silence can become the loudest gist of all? Unpredictable stars always leave people restless, and Pearl stands right at the center of that. Her updates drop like cliffhangers in a story. Fans can never tell if what she's about to share will be something simple or something that sparks endless discussions. Isn't that the kind of suspense everyone secretly craves? With her, every post feels like the start of a new chapter. People don't just scroll by, they stop and hold their breath, waiting to see if it's casual or groundbreaking. And when it lands, the reactions explode. The mystery is part of the fun because nobody wants to miss the moment she shakes things up. Even the smallest posts turn into full-blown trends because of the suspense behind them. Pearl has mastered that art of keeping her fans hooked, never giving away too much, but always leaving them wanting more. Her unpredictability makes her page feel like a live show that never ends, with each update building tension for the next one. That is the real power of her presence, keeping everyone curious, restless, and constantly guessing about what she might do next. Sometimes gist spreads so wide, it catches even those who never expected to be part of it. Isn't that shocking? The ripple effect of gossip proves just how powerful speculation can be. It begins with one small spark, maybe a post, maybe a silence, and suddenly, it spreads far beyond the celebrity involved. Families get dragged into it, friends find their names mentioned, and even colleagues who are just connected to the star feel the heat. That's what makes gossip so heavy. It doesn't stay in one corner, it stretches endlessly. For Pearl, that ripple is an added burden because she doesn't just carry the gist alone, those around her feel it too. People who never asked for attention suddenly find themselves in conversations they didn't create. And the hardest part? Most of the time, it's all based on speculation, not fact. Isn't that tough to imagine? That's why gossip cuts deeper than it seems, it touches every circle around the star. Pearl's life shows this ripple clearly, proving that gist doesn't stop at the center. It keeps spreading, showing just how deep and far speculation can truly go in the world of fame. Alright guys. Thanks for listening and bye.